exciting time of the year. You know, you've heard me say it. It's the reason why we all came to Kansas State, is to play in the postseason, and here we are. You know, it's the best time of the year. Our kids have been going at it strong. You know, and not since the start of the season, but since the fall. You know, late August, and it's a lot of dedication and discipline with these guys, weight room, and it's a year-long thing. Being able to sacrifice and get better and commit to get in the tournament, to go to Omaha and try to win a national championship for Kansas State.
For Coach, what does it mean to you to be able to do this 2 years in a row? I know this is what you've been building for. Now that you have some continuity, what does it mean to you?
This is especially rewarding, you know, because we really had to revamp our entire lineup, and we lost two major components in our starting rotation. We lost arguably the best closer in the country, a first-round shortstop, a center fielder, a catcher, and our second baseman was a high draft choice. That's a lot to rebuild, and to have sustained success is the mark of a national program, when you can not rebuild, when you can reload, and that was the significance of this year, and being rewarded to go to play in the postseason.
I know no NCAA regionals are easy by any means, but what's the biggest challenge that comes along with having to play in the Texas one this weekend?
Well, Texas is the regular season SEC champ by 2 games. That's pretty sturdy competition, and now you look at our opponent for Friday, UTSA, and they've won 44 games. That's a lot of winning. Houston Christian had a great turnaround in their program in this past year. So 1 through 4, it's a real solid tournament, which when you don't host, you know you're going to walk into a venue that's going to have its challenges. But I'm glad I'm going to walk into that venue with guys that are up for a good challenge and a good fight.
Pete, after the selection show yesterday, you mentioned to me that you were going to watch some film, and the guys were going to be watching some film and doing some practice. What have you learned most about UTSA?
They got like 8 guys that are hitting well over 300. You know, they're super offensive. It's a winning program. It's a winning head coach. Like I said earlier, 44 wins. That's, you know, they're really offensive. They get on base. They're creative in getting on base. A lot of hit by pitch and walks. There's a lot of free passes going on that creates a lot of offense. So other than having a winning head coach and a winning program, it's their offense is going to be something it's going to be a major area of focus for us to try to stabilize if we want to have a good game against these guys.
Guys, this is a big moment. David, I was just curious how you feel like the early season challenges of playing some top teams really kind of prepares you guys for the big stage here.
Yeah, you know, obviously in order to be ready for games like this in the regional, you have to play teams like Arkansas, you know, teams that are great, and, you know, Omaha caliber teams. So for us to, you know, play against them, do well, have success, you know, it shows that our players, for them to have the confidence to go into this regional and know that we can walk out with a win and take over the regional.
Maximus, just you know, coming to Kansas State, just what has this experience been like for you?
It's been pretty awesome, man. I mean, this is going to be my first regional. The past 2 years of college, I've never been on a team over 400, and this year we definitely were over that, and I've had nothing but positive things to say about this place. I mean, this is probably one of the best decisions of my life, you know, to take the chance and flip where I was going, you know, towards the end of the last summer in the portal, and then deciding to come here. It was definitely one of the best decisions, and I've had a great time here. Everybody gets along really well, and we're competing really good. And all of us stay healthy and, you know, continue to bring energy on the field. They're going to make a really good run, and everybody's just excited to keep going, and I'm super amped up.
Building off that, what would you say you are most excited about with your first regional coming up?
Honestly, probably just the experience of being there. Obviously, I wish I could have went before, but I think, you know, only a certain amount of teams get to play in a regional, and it's just good to, I want to be able to say, like, damn, I was on a team where, I got to go play in the regional. I'd say it's definitely could be a highlight of my college career, and to do it with this team is a little bit more special, just because everybody's super close, and obviously I love this place. So, but probably just the experience to get out in a different state and go play at a super cool ballpark with my guys. So.
Coach, you talked about the rebuild a minute ago. What has Maximus's bat meant to the lineup, and just all these guys? What have they been giving you this season?
Well, Max's his versatility has been the greatest gift, really, that he's brought to the program. He allowed us to make a wholesale defensive move late in the season so we could get David Bishop back on the field. Max had to go out in the outfield, and he did it with a smile on his face. He said, "I'll do whatever it takes to win." That doesn't come along very often with athletes these days, but it happens all the time in our clubhouse. So, but other than that, Max has been, he's a 3-run home run waiting to happen. He's evolved as a player and has developed that power tool under Coach Waits in our program. And he's been a really great offensive player for us, but even a better teammate.
Keaton, what kind of excites you about playing in your first regional at K-State?
No, absolutely. I'm thrilled to get down to Austin. This is the reason we all came to Kansas State. I mean, playing in an atmosphere like Austin will be awesome, and just looking forward to get down there.
Jay, you pitched in last year's tournament. What are some things you remember from last year's tournament that you'll tell these guys that haven't played in the tournament before?
Just, there's nothing like it. It's the greatest feeling you'll have until you get to the next one, and it's kind of just be where your feet are, take it all in, and enjoy the moment. I mean, not many teams get to do this. There's only 64 in the country that get to do it. Be proud that you're one of them. So.
Pete, when you get to preparation for a regional like this, do you divvy up the teams amongst your staff, or you just stay focused on UTSA and that's all you worry about in your preparation for right now?
We took a hard look at all three of them, really, to see what matchups are in our favor with the skill set we have. So you have to look at everybody. It's not that arduous of a task, really, being a baseball coach and watching film and game planning on your opponent, but it's one we gladly like to do at this time of year. So, Coach Darrow's looking at all the hitters and offenses that we may match up against, and Coach Waits is looking at the pitchers. Thomas is setting up all the defenses, and our think tank, our GAs in there, they're breaking it all down. So it's we got all the information we need, like our players always do, and they'll be put in the best position to have success, and they just got to go out and make plays and have fun doing it. I just want to watch JJ do another backflip. That's always a good sign.
All right, I think they've outlawed the backflips, right?
All right, maybe we won't watch JJ do a backflip. But
Nobody will count for after wins, though.
Gotcha.
I think it's probably just during.
Okay.
During the game, you can't do a backflip.
That's good. Hey, we're paying our players, but no backflips, all right? Who's making these rules?
Obviously, K-State has a long tradition of being down in Austin and having success playing against Texas. What can you tell us about what it takes to win in Austin against a Texas team and against anybody playing down there? UTSA would be no different, a lot of Texas kids.
Anytime you go into someone's home field, and I'm sure people view coming to the Toynton Stadium, it's a difficult place to play, and the other team's certainly comfortable and with the surroundings, and they have a large sample size of success that for the entire year in that park, so that goes a long way. We went into one of the biggest hornet's nests in college baseball last year, so for our guys, it's not going to be daunting. Okay, it's a program and a stadium with so much tradition, respectfully said. But we're going there with one thing in mind. That's try to win a regional, and that starts with game one against a really, really good UTSA team.
Jay, thinking back to last season, if you could just summarize what went well for you guys in Arkansas, what do you think it was that allowed you guys to win that regional?
Like I said, just seizing the moment and the opportunity. Like, it was I don't know how many years since the last time we made a regionals from last year, and we kind of just went in there with a chip on our shoulder and just like we were the underdog in game 1 last year, and we came out first pitch and kind of just set the tone for what we were going to do the rest of that tournament. And I think that's kind of what we're bringing to the tournament this year is keep that same chip on our shoulder, and from the first pitch of the whole tournament, just put our head down and go to work like we do every day.
Does it give you more confidence knowing that you've done it before?
Absolutely. It's you go in an atmosphere like that and you're familiar with it and you're able to calm yourself down pretty quickly, and it's like I said, you take it in the moment, but you're able to stay focused on what you're doing. It helps a ton that you've already been doing it.
And David, same question.
Yeah, obviously it helps. You know, this is my 4th regional. I've been very blessed to be in a few regionals. It's a great opportunity, something that nobody can ever take from me. And it doesn't matter how well I perform, how well I do. It's something that I've always can say that I've been to regionals. So in order to be able to have success in there, obviously you have to have some sort of experience. You know, last year's team, we didn't have much experience, and those guys handled the adversity great. They went down to Arkansas. They weren't nervous, handled the environment. So I think this year's team will just do that much better to already have some of that experience and have some of the guys to lead the team.